Hello, everybody. Daniel Voiles of the PCSRA Sports In-Game Channel. Welcome, everybody, to the 2023 season review of the PCSRA seasons. That it's been about a month or so since we had the PCSRA season ending. I'm watching the Thunder getting destroyed by the Kings. They're at 5.5 minutes left until halftime. So I'm going to just do this so you guys do not have to see my annoying game just to get as far as the copyright situation is concerned. But anyway, welcome everybody, as this video is sponsored by Pepsi Zero Sugar Wild Cherries. Just get that advertisement out of the way. Welcome to the 2023 PCSRA season review. This is a special video that I want to do on this channel, or special, well, stream video. You get the point. I get to talk about the best races and the best how things went and all that yada 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 and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and kick off tonight's festivities. I got a message on Discord. Oh, it's from Sean. Sean and his favorite word when a car spins, which is spinala and all that yada yada yada. Anyway, let's start off with the AutoZone Amateur Series. If I could pull up the points, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my opinion on all the point standings. Let me see where the Amateur Series standings are. Oh, there you are. I was trying to find the point standings, so there they are. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the YouTube chat while I'm doing that. And let me do this. There we go. No, I went it back up there, you derp. Thank you. Starting off with the AutoZone Amateur Series, they had 16 races. And this is the top 10 points finishing results from the points. By the way, just ignore my roommates. They're supposed to be in their rooms in about 5 minutes time. That's why I'm in my new room, which disclaimer, if you didn't watch my last stream, it was actually in this room right here, but this is my new room. So yeah, instead of having to be over there, having to yell and scream and yada yada yada. Okay, so the top 10 in the points from the AutoZone Amateur Series. Number 1, Ingrid Pollard. Number 2, Marcus Sellers. Number 3, Jennifer Power. Number 4, Peach Ramirez. And number 5, Paul Walker. The rest of your top 10 of the points was Michael Anderson, Carolina Bradley, Stephanie Carlson, Luca Rosso, and Amy Pruitt was your top 10. I don't know who's knocking on my door, but I'm trying to do a stream here. Anyway. Who is it? Oh, Michael's knocking on my door, trying to annoy the hell out of me. Anyway, getting back on topic after my roommate needs to be in his room right about now. When I look at the at Ingrid Pollard, who won one race, had 6 top 5s, 8 top 10s, an average finish of 14.3, along with a pole position, that really tells you how consistently enough she was during the season. Of course, with, like I said, I talked about this a lot lately, with the fact that the amateur series may or may not come back. I don't know. I still haven't. I don't know what's going to happen as far as the future is concerned. Ingrid Pollard may end up being the very last amateur series champion, which is a little surprising to be quite honest with you, because um, she really uh, was an awesome driver, and you know, was it the best championship? I don't know. Was it the best dominant we've seen out of her? I don't think so. I mean, she was fairly consistent. I mean, if you only get one win and six top fives and eight, how many? Wait, how many she got? That was, yeah, six top fives, eight top tens. That's a good season you have. But you know, like I said, with only 16 races, that's a big deal as far as that's concerned. You know, she was my big surprise. The big disappointment, excuse me, is I look through the list, and this is, by the way, the full time drivers. Like, first through 36 ran all 16 races. You can say 37 on down was like the part time drivers and all that. So, um, I talked about Pollard, Sellers, Power, Ramirez, and Walker. Well, Walker got penalized for his antics in Toronto, which put Michael Anderson, which he would have been in the fifth spot. However, because Pete Ramirez was already in the truck series for Indiana Motorsports in the, I think it was the 00, and she ended up making the playoffs. Carolina Bradley got the final spot as far as the charter situation. I mean, yeah, it was kind of confusing, but to be fair, um, that's where we were at as far as that is concerned. So, and of course, Marcus Sellers ended up winning the Rookie of the Year honors in the AutoZone Amateur Series. So, congratulations to Sellers on the championship for Rookie of the Year. Congratulations to Ingrid Pollard on winning the championship in the AutoZone Amateur Series. I'll take you out. I need to get rid of you because I'm working on a new series that I will announce it in a little bit. And let me let everybody know I am, by the way, live. Okay, laptop, why are you being a drunken hippo? I don't know what's going on as far as that's concerned, but that's the least of my worries. Then we go to the Truck Series, the Coca-Cola Truck Series, which will be the final season of the Coca-Cola Truck Series before it becomes the PSRLA Coca-Cola Truck Series in 2024. Now, unlike the AutoZone Amateur Series, which had the top five would have gone up to the Truck Series, we had two scenarios that happened for the Truck Series. One, it would be all the playoff drivers who would be moving up to the what was going to be the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, and then you had the bottom five that would drop down to the Amateur Series, which I don't think it's going to make a difference anyway as far as that is concerned. Let's start off with the drivers who ended up making the playoffs and would have moved up to the Buffalo Wild Wings Series. They would be Tico Jumiaka, Samantha Granger, Justin Hugo, Hattie Swore, Mandy Evans, Pete Ramirez, like I talked about with the fact that Pete Ramirez was in the Truck Series and made it in the playoffs. Of course, Carolina Bradley would have gone up to the Truck Series. The problem is she would not be running the full season in trucks due to the fact she did not turn 18. So there's that other point. She was, I want to say, like 16. But of course, Cody will correct me in the YouTube chat. By the way, I forgot to point this out before I started this stream. Please take note of the description down below. That way you guys know what the rules are. As far as the deal, which I will update the description in a little bit when I get the chance, or do it sometime in a minute. So, yeah. Anyway, April Winters, Annie Crenshaw, Gretchen Mueller, Victor Gonzalez. Now, In regards to those drivers, and yeah, my roommates need to be in their rooms right now because it's after 10 o'clock. If you're hearing Michael say inappropriate language to my house manager, Sylvia, I do apologize for that. Anyway, so looking at the truck series, as far as the drivers who, of course, there was a couple of drivers who missed, I think, one or two races, or in Annie Crenshaw's case, missed 3 races due to the fact she did not turn 18. And, let's see, April Winters missed Ricky. She finished 7th in points. Annie Crenshaw, who missed 3 races due to not turning 18, finished 8th in the points. Gretchen Mueller, who missed missed 2 races rather due to not turning 18, finished 9th. So looking at those 3 drivers, April Winters, Crenshaw, and Mueller, for those 3 ladies who missed 1 to 3 races due to not being old enough at mile-and-a-half tracks like 18, that's pretty damn impressive for all of them their senior year in high school, which is really impressive if you ask me. And you look at some of these drivers. I think the big surprise, besides Cody Smart having a driver in the Final Four, does not surprise me. I think the big surprise would be my team, Daniel Voiles Racing, because if you know me very well, and this used to happen in the WRLA, which is no longer having the truck series and all that yada yada yada, for us to have only one of our entries not just make the playoffs, but made it to the Final Four. If you would have told me that at, let's say, January, if you would have told me back in January that DVR would make the Final Four to go for a championship in the Coca-Cola Truck Series, there is no way on earth I would believe in you. But, Hattie really, really impressed me as far as that's concerned. And, Sarah Costello, who won Rookie of the Year, I mean, this is what her stats was. Let's see, four top 5s, 8 top 10s, 16.7 average finish. She ended up winning the Rookie of the Year honors, and it wasn't even close. So, that's pretty good. I mean, if we would have had a 2024 season, I don't know if DVR would have had a force to be reckoned with, but we would never know. I mean, if I do another truck series, which will be 2025, which as a matter of fact, if you guys and gals don't know yet, next year for 2025, not 2024, 2025, the WRA, World Racing Association, that I used to be a part of, which I still own the WRA besides the PCSRA, is coming back, and we're going to have a new truck series and also a new Xfinity series, which I will discuss all of that when we get to 2024 and how we're going to do signups and all that yada yada yada. So yeah. So Jumiaka Granger, Samantha Granger, Hugo, Swore, Evans, Ramirez, Winters, April Winters to be more specific. Crenshaw, Mueller, and Gonzalez would end up moving, originally would have been moving up to the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Excuse me. However, Hugo Gonzalez, looking at the points, let me also look at the chat, just making sure if anybody comments over here to the right of the chat. By the way, if you guys have something you want to chime in, like everybody in the president's chat, don't be afraid to chime in. I mean, the chat's open. I'll just read the chat. But anyway, DVR really was a very strong team, from this past season for trucks. And, it would have been nice to have a 2024 truck series season. But then again, 2025 for WRA for their new truck series, which I do not have a name for the new truck series for WRA. We'll just have to wait and see as far as that's concerned. So yeah. I talked about Sarah Costello, who won Rookie of the Year. I also failed to mention DVR in the first 16 races of the truck series, which had Hattie Swart winning. We won 4 out of 7 playoff races, which is incredible if you ask me. So, woohoo! There you go. Now to the part that's going to suck. Who would have been in the danger zone of losing their charters? Now, I do want to point this out is that because there were Foster Series drivers, like let me throw a couple of names out here. Senor Sean, his sister Jessie, Carla Sanat, Annika Ritchie, Tatum Wright, which I'll talk about Tatum Wright later on in the show as far as this new project I'm working on. Let me see. Who else am I forgetting? If anybody wants to chime in the chat, those of you in the president's chat, go ahead. I think that's just the drivers I just mentioned. I think that's it as far as those drivers I just mentioned. So, Heather Gallant, I forgot about her. So, see, this is why I did not come prepared tonight, and I'm sorry. So anyway. Based off the full-time drivers, which there was 36, the 5 drivers that were not the Foster Series who lost their charters, Charlie Silver, really feel bad for him. Benny MacArthur didn't matter because he was a stupid idiot anyway. I mean, I don't know what on bloody earth he was doing. Billy Kitchens, which, let's face it, Nathan Orman called him the world's worst driver of the truck series. No pun intended, Orman, if you're watching. Patrick Combs. And the worst part of it, Ashley Horton. Yeah. With one driver making the playoffs, one driver end up losing their charter. Do I feel impressed about that? Absolutely not. But I'm just going to say this, and I'm not trying to make an excuse and say, well, I just had a season. No. I think Ashley Horton finishing 29th in the standings, 3 top 5s, 3 top 10s, 25.3 average finish. I kind of expected that because, she's a rookie. I don't want to be harsh on my female drivers and say, well, you just had a terrible rookie year, blah, 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 blah. No, I just think Ashley Horton just had not the season she would have liked. And, with the 2025 season for WRA Truck Series, which I'm more than likely that's what it's going to be called. But in all seriousness, I would like to see Ashley Horton do a lot better for 2025. Now, the reason I didn't mention 2024 stuff is, like I said, PCSRA is replacing the Coca-Cola Truck Series. And I wish them good luck over there. And, of course, I'm not going to be running that series. I don't know. I think Orman's running that series unless I need to run that series for any particular reason, but we'll just have to wait and see as far as that is concerned. So that is the Truck Series final point standings. But congratulations to Tico Jumiaka, which, for those that don't know, according to legend, Tico Jumiaka made PCSRA history this past season. I've talked about countries, and I've said this in the President's Chat, which you guys in the President's Chat know what I'm talking about. For any of you that don't know what I'm talking about, Tico Jumiaka made history, becoming the first Japanese driver in PCSRA history to win a championship in any series. I mean, in Monster, which we'll get to the Monster Energy stuff in a little bit with all the other countries, but the first Japanese driver to win a championship in any PCSRA series, that's a huge accomplishment for the country of Japan. And, I'm really excited, when we do 2025 for, the WRA, World Racing Association, what kind of history will we have? I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see as far as that is concerned. So that is the Truck Series points. as far as that's concerned. Then we go to the Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh, that's for drivers who would have moved up and drivers who would have moved down due to, well, the charter system. Because in case y'all don't know, the Coca-Cola Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings series a chartered system. So yeah, two people still watching. Cool. Now we go to the Buffalo Wild Wings series, and I have to say this one was a big surprise for many of you guys. Now, this is excluding well, actually, I don't know if this is excluding, but anyway, so let's talk about who won the championship. Monica Towns, and this is going to be kind of funny in terms. So, if any of you remember the 13 Ford Mustang from MBM Motorsports, yeah, they won the championship with Monica Towns. Is everybody shocked? Absolutely yes, including myself, because I did not expect Indiana Motorsports to win with a number 13 Ford Mustang. If you told me that at the beginning of this year that the 13 car was going to win the championship, I would say no way, Jose. Which is a bit of a surprise, to be quite honest with you. But Monica Towns, her championship stats this: 1 win, 5 top 5s, 12 top 10s, 17.8 average finish. Pretty darn good. I'm trying to remember. I'm going to have to ask Cody who won the rookie of the year. Actually, I could look that up because I have the another server where I kept all the stats. And I need to see who won the rookie of the year in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. I know who won rookie of the year in Monster. I don't know who won rookie of the year in Buffalo Wild Wings. And if you guys are in the BHRA's Discord server, Cody, Taylor, let me see who won that, as a matter of fact, since I'm over there. If you guys need me to mute my TV, let me know in the chat. I'll just shut it up. I'm gonna check here. Looking. I know Taylor was so emotional, which is crazy, to tell you the truth. And I do not remember who won rookie of the year. I did not write down the rookie of the year. I apologize who I forgot one up. Oh, hi, Cody. Monica Towns was rookie. I'll have to actually go back through the Buffalo Wild Wings video to find that out. But in all seriousness, Monica Towns was the best. I think you might be right, Cody. I might be right. So, yeah. So this is what the points finish was for Buffalo Wild Wings series. I'm just going to only do the top 12 because whoever made the playoffs and all that. So it was Monica Towns, Carla Sinat. Big surprise to see Carla Sinat, the oldest driver actually to make the playoffs and make the Final Four. Max Lipson, which let's be honest, and everybody in the President's chat already knows about this. Max Lipson, in my personal opinion, has been one of the under the radar kind of drivers because I've seen him like that in Monster Energy from 2010 to now, being one of those under the radar kind of people. Annie Winters in her final season, 1 win, 9 top 5s, 12 top 10s. I think you can say Annie Winters has to be very disappointed. I mean, she had more top 5s than Monica Towns, but still lost the championship, which that tells you how her season's been. And she had a better average finish out of everybody in the championship four, which, let's be honest, that's a bit surprising because I bet you when we got to championship weekend, I would have told you Annie Winters was going to win her only championship, and which sucks for her, but you know what? It's okay. Greta Wagner, Wyatt Garcia, Darby King, Bella San Diego, JJ Park. Actually, I think JJ Park won the Rookie of the Year. But like I said, I will have to go back through the Buffalo Wild Wings series finale and. Oh no! I take that back. It was actually Lucky Prescott who won Rookie of the Year. Now that I think back on the top of my head, sorry, I'm growing old. But anyway, Darby King, Bella San Diego, JJ Park, Ari Springer, John Wesley Allen, and Jesse Art. Now, here's where it gets a little surprising. Out of the 12 that made the playoffs, Sanat, and Art, Jesse Art, not Sean Art, just to clarify, if anybody says I derped, you're wrong, and you get the dunce hat. Jesse Art making the playoffs, where Sean Art did not make the playoffs. In fact, Sean finished 23rd in the point standings, and this is a question that I always have to say is, just what if Sean Art knew that we would not have a top 30 in the point standings and have his win, or if we didn't have a top 30 in points, Sean would have been in the, well, actually, Sean would have not made the playoffs anyway. But the crazy part about the Buffalo Wild Wings series is Lucky Prescott missed 4 races and still won Rookie of the Year, which is a little bit shocking, in my opinion, because who knows what would have happened if she ran those 4 races? Who knows? She could have been possibly been the champion, believe it or not. But we'll see. That we'll never know. Now to the part that I hate the most. Who lost their charters for this past season? And actually, Cody wrote down who lost their charters. Here, and which Cody is going to be correct. The original 5 that would have lost their charters would be Sierra Harris, Chloe Carmichael, Makoto Tanaka, Luke Peters, and Mia Watts. Now, or actually, wait a second. No, it's it's Tanaka, Peters, Watts, Michaels, and Nowicki. Here's the catch. Nowicki got penalized for something she did very bad. And I don't want to take this the wrong way, but, I kind of expected the 9 team, because let's face it, the 9 team never made the playoffs, number 1. Number 2, it's not a bit surprising. Luke Peters, Mia Watts, Xavier Alsop, doesn't surprise me to see either of them. Yeah. I think that was just it, just those 5. And Tanaka was going up to the Monster Energy Series. So that was your final points for the Buffalo Wild Wings series. And then last but certainly not least, the Monster Energy Series points, which I have to get a... No, that's not Monster Energy points. That's the schedule for next year, you derp. Hold on, let me take that out. That's the points I was looking for. The Monster Energy Series. And the main surprise out of this is Jacob Tutu winning the Drivers' Championship. I'd like to point out Jacob failed to qualify for rookies. So it was the second year in a row where a driver failed to qualify for the season opener and still won the Drivers' Championship. Rebecca Hawkins did that in 2022, which I don't think anybody had Rebecca Hawkins doing that. And of course, she didn't even make the playoffs that year. And I know Elijah is probably upset that his favorite driver in PCSRA won the championship, but in all fairness, Jacob Tutu had a dominant year. His stats are this: 6 wins, 14 top 5s, new season high record in any season. In fact, he never had double-digit top 5s and top 10s until this season. 14.1 average finishes, 2 poles. and he wins the championship by 9 points over, ironically enough, his team owner, Lauren Ekstrom, which is a little surprising, making it a BMW 1-2. So the final top 16 after the playoffs were, Katsura Miram was. I think everybody's surprised Katsura got third in the Drivers' Championship. Cody kind of was surprised. I was kind of surprised. I don't think anybody, if you told me back in January that the 44 team was going to finish in the top 5 in the Drivers' Championship, I would not believe you, because looking back at the 2016 deal, the 44's best points finish was somewhere in the mid-20s. For them to go from the mid-20s to making it into the Final Four is a huge accomplishment, if you ask me. Jazz Sugartown, who, if I recall correctly, I'm trying to no, she did not win the regular season title. But anyway, in fact, if I'm correct, and Cody will have to correct me if I'm wrong, the drivers who won the regular season title did not win the championship. Ari Springer won the regular season title in Buffalo Wild Wings series. She got eliminated around the 12. Samantha Maple, who won the regular season championship, got eliminated in the round of 16. And then I'm trying to remember who won the regular season title for trucks. I do not remember off the top of my head, but again, Cody will have to go digging through the replay and all that and see if that is true. But if that's the case, it's the first time that none of the the regular season champion did not win the championship that year. And I know some people are like, well, this format sucks and blah, 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 blah. Okay. I said this numerous times on Triple P, and I'll say this for everyone. You may do well in the regular season, but if you don't back it up, then there you go. You don't back it up and win the championship. I don't know if it was Justin. Yeah, I think it was Justin Hugo, if I remember correctly. But like I said, you would have to go back to the regular season finale back at Memphis to answer that question as far as that's concerned. So anyway, continuing with the top 16 rundown. 2-2, Ekstrom, Katsura, Jazz Sugartown, Betty Johnson, 5th place. Not pretty good for World NOS Racing, knowing that they made the playoffs. Brittany White, Quincy Einstein, who is retiring, along with June Einstein, who finished at 9th. Brianna Knight got 8th. Valentina Fernandez got 10th in the standings, which let's be honest. I mean, Valentina Fernandez won the first 2 points races at Ricky and also at Atlanta. And ever since then, wins 3 races to end off what is, I think, the best of her career, if I'm not mistaken, because like I said, it was the first time we ran the Canadian 450. First time we went to a season opener that was not the Daytona 500, which is a little surprising. And she ended up winning the championship in that remark. So good job to her. Ben Erickson, Ari Springer, I talked about her getting eliminated in the round of 12. Here's the ironic part. She got eliminated in the round of 12 in Buffalo Wild Wings Series. She also got eliminated in round of 12 in Monster Energy Series. Illuminati officially confirmed. And all jokes aside, as far as that's concerned. Samantha Maple, I think this is the big disappointment because she won the regular season championship and got eliminated after the round of 16. And I think Cody would agree with me that she should have made it past the round of 16. And for her to not even get past the round of 6, or get to the round of 12, rather. But for her to not even get past the round of 16 really caught a lot of people off guard. And of course, Mike Chilton, no relationship to Frank's driver, Maxie Chilton. Yeah, I think you are correct because, like I said, Justin Hugo won the regular season. So it's like the first time that all 3 regular season champions did not win the championship, which is not surprising if you ask me. Bridget Thomas and, of course, Red Riding Hood did not run the final 2 races due to, well, COVID-19. And then There you see the rest of the results. And also want to say congratulations to, I'm trying to find who won. Oh, Amber Whitecastle finished 20th, got Rookie of the Year, which got before the final race. So that tells you how good her season has been, even though she did not find victory lane. And then the rest of the results, I'm not even going to bother going through the rest of the points or tell you who was in the danger zone. So, yeah, so that was a brief recap on the points. So, who surprised me and who didn't surprise me as far as that's concerned? I'm going to start with the truck series. Like I said, DVR kind of really surprised me because, like I said, I did not predict, and I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't mention this in the beginning of the year that we were going to go out there, win a race, make the final four to go for a championship because I was thinking, oh, it's going to be another struggling season, blah 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 blah. Of course, we were running Chevrolet Silverados, so we didn't know um, how that was certain. But the other thing is that, Erica Douglas was going to go to Munster after the Truck Series season because, well, she was a rookie at the time because I had different rules for the Rookie of the Year situation in Munster, where rookie drivers can run trucks in Buffalo Wild Wing Series as many races or run a full season just to get them experience and yada, yada, yada. So, DVR for 2025 for the WRA Truck Series. I think we can do it. We just need to build some more confidence and try to get over the hump of trying to win a championship. That's my big surprise. I think the big disappointment, like I said, was Nam. But to be fair, as I said, it was their first Truck Series season for the team, if I'm correct. Yeah, I am correct. Because, like I said, Cody's had championships. I think Cody's a little surprised he didn't win the championship, which, um, if I recall, and Cody will have to tell me in the chat, I think he had the last two championships before I did 2023. Yeah, I think so. And that came to a screeching halt. So it stopped them from three-peating, if you ask me. So, yeah. Um, so Cody's team, I could kind of say was a big disappointment, but not a disappointment as far as like a great season. I'm saying like disappointment that they had their run come to an end, which is a shame. But like I said, to be fair, you gave it your all. That's all you're asked about. So, you know, but we'll have to see in 2025 if Cody's team can reign supreme or if my team can reign supreme. I think the big surprise for Buffalo Wild Wings series, and like I said, I'm not going to count the amateur series because, well, this series I don't even count because it's just drivers under 18 and all that, blah, blah, blah. So, Buffalo Wild Wings series, I would say Indiana Motorsports because, and I don't want to say, and no offense to Zachary Taylor if you're watching this, but Zachary Taylor, I did not have him winning not just the championship, he also won the so I was correct. It was 2 years. So if had you won the championship, which to back up to Cody's sentence he said in the chat, it would have been 3 years in a row. So yeah, but back to the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Indiana Motorsports, I didn't have as winning the championship in 2023. I had them about a mid-pack team, and for them to go into 2023 with Monica Towns, who, let's be honest, I don't know much about Monica Towns and how she was going to do this season. For her in her rookie year to go out there, have a consistent season, I think one or two races, for her to do that and go consistent through the playoffs and win the championship, that's my big surprise, And that tells you Zachary Taylor definitely has a team to win a championship. Can they back it up in 2025? We're just going to have to wait and see when we cross that bridge. But if there's one team owner who deserved the championship the most, it's Indiana Motorsports. No questions about it. I mean, we can debate and say, well, they only had one win and most wins in Winter, blah, 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 blah. No, Indiana Motorsports definitely, in my book, and everybody can disagree with me in the comments section and all that, yada, yada, yada. But in all seriousness, for them to go out there and win a championship in their first season in Buffalo Wild Wings, may I add, that's pretty damn impressive to me, because that tells you that that team is an absolute force to be reckoned with. And Taylor can build a good empire and compete with Smart Motorsports or DVR or Carnage Motorsports, which will be starting up in 2025 with Sean Art, or Jesse Art Motorsports with Jesse Art having her team. It's going to be really cool that, Indiana Motorsports will be definitely a force to be reckoned with in 2025 for WRA as far as that is concerned. The big disappointment, this is tough for Buffalo Wild Wings, but the big disappointment, in my opinion, I'm going to have to say, might be. Let me look at the points real quickly. Excuse me. By the way, if I'm drinking something, I do apologize if I'm having a little belch. So, yeah, let me actually see. 65-56. Good night. Thunder's getting destroyed by the Kings. Well, to be fair. Okay, now I have the points in front of me. The big disappointment for me, and this is just my opinion, let me see. I would say both Penske cars, which is, I think it was Amanda Wallace and Jared Underhill. Well, now, Jared, I can just say, well, it was his first year in Buffalo Wild Wings, and, he's a Foster Series driver, so I could just dismiss Jared as far as that's concerned. But, I could say Penske was a big disappointment in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. I could say Junior Motorsports in the number 9 team. The 9 team did not even make it into the playoffs despite having a win. That right there is the big surprise, that 9 team. Because you know how in real life Xfinity, Noah Gragson gets that 9 car in the playoffs. For the 9 car in Buffalo Wild Wings, for Junior Motorsports, a big powerhouse team, for them not making the playoffs, that's a big shock to everybody. I think everybody had them making the playoffs lickety split, and for them to not even make the playoffs, that's a big surprise to all of us. And not only that, but JGR only had one driver make the playoffs. That was Jesse Art. Sean Art did not make the playoffs despite having a win, because Sean was outside the top 30 in points and didn't have his win counted from Martinsville to count for the playoffs, which I know Sean's disappointed in that. Jake Putnam, let's be real. Jake Putnam just didn't have the season he liked. Look at the stats here. Jake Putnam, 1 top 5, 4 top 10. Sean Art, 1 win, 5 top 5, 6 top 10s. Neither of them made the playoffs. Sean ended up 23rd in Buffalo Wild Wings. Jake Putnam ended up 24th. If you told me JGR was going to miss the playoffs, I would not believe you. I would have said JGR is going to make the playoffs. It's going to be just like the real life Xfinity series. But for them, speaking of Senor Sean, hola, Senor Sean. But in this is all seriousness, for those 2 cars, for JGR to miss the playoffs, that's probably the big disappointment out of everybody. And I'm not trying to pick on any of the drivers and say, well, that driver should have made the playoffs. That driver. I think the big problem was trying to get consistency going. And, if we go into 2025 and JGR and Junior Motorsports don't make the playoffs, there's going to be a lot of questions that's going to be asked about what's going on over at those two teams, Junior Motorsports, JGR. And also, I could throw Penske Racing into that mix because Amanda Wallace, no wins, 2 top 5, 7 top 10s. That 22 team didn't make the playoffs. That's a bit surprising because in real life in Xfinity, they made the playoffs, which we all kind of expected. But for them to not even make the playoffs, that's a bit surprising, to tell you the truth. So they would be the disappointment teams. And like I said, the big surprise would be Monica Towns. The honorable mention in all this will go to Carlos Sinat in the 32 because I don't think any of you had that tide ride in the championship four. They would have been like, oh, they're going to be out of the playoffs and all that. Yeah, it's a bit surprising, to tell you the truth. So those would be my surprises for Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Who was your surprise in Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings as far as that's concerned, and who was your disappointment? And then we go over the Munster. And for those of you that want to know a little statistics, here's a little statistic to the truth. And I talked about earlier about countries. We had Zimbabwe with June and Annie Einstein from 2010 to 2014. The first ever country that won the championship. Annie Thomas becoming the first Australian champion in PCSRA history in 2015. Jake Hayes became the first American driver to win the championship in 2016. And then, of course, we went on a hiatus in 2017, 2018, 19, 20. And then we had Rebecca Hawkins, the first female American driver to win the championship in 2022. I'm trying to remember who won. Nathan Orman became the first autism driver to win the championship, believe it or not, which that was a first for all of us. I didn't expect an autism driver to win the championship, but it did. And now Jacob Tutu, who and I know we get a lot of jokes of Montreal not winning the Stanley Cup and all that, yada, yada, yada. But this is the big surprise. Canada has snapped the longest drought of championship. I know we like to joke about the Montreal Canadiens and all that, yada, yada, yada. But Jacob Tutu, and this is a really interesting number. Jacob Tutu has taken him 13 years, believe it or not. 13 years. He's been in PCSRA since the very beginning back in 2010. It's taken him 13 years to finally win this championship. And, here's the cool thing about this for the NR community. BMW joins Mercedes-Benz, Audi, and Mitsubishi Lancer as foreign manufacturers who won a championship in this whole NR community. And that's a big surprise, to tell you the truth. So it's an awesome accomplishment. And Jacob Tutu now the first Canadian to win the championship. And also here's the most funny part about this. BMW wins their very first championship since with Ekstrom. And let me remind you, Australian Motorsports was in their first year with BMW. So that's shocker number one, which who at the beginning of the year had BMW winning the championship in their first try with Lauren Ekstrom's team? I didn't think so. But it's an awesome story, and this is the part that really, in my opinion, would have been great. Had Lauren Ekstrom won the championship, would have been the first time in PCSRA history we had an owner-driver win the championship ever. Ever. Can you believe what would have happened if Ekstrom would have won the championship? We would have made PCSRA history, period. That we've never had an owner-driver win a championship. And it almost happened, but Ekstrom came up 9 spots short. Which that's the big surprise, I could say. I didn't have Katsuro in my Final Four. I had him getting eliminated after the round of 12. But for him only having one win and making the playoffs and making the championship 4 is a big surprise. Okay. Actually, correction. It was second time. Thank you, Cody, for correcting me in the chat. It would have been the second time, but it would have been the first female driver that had done so. Um, which would have been incredible for Australia, and also it would have been the second championship for Australia in 8 years. Because, like I said, Annie Thomas, we talked about, won the championship in 2015, becoming now the only Australian championship in PCSRA to date. And, who knows when Lauren Ekstrom will finally win her championship. But, I mean, Jacob Tutu, I can tell you this, and everybody will back me up and agree with me. I know there's going to be some people who are like, well, Jacob Tutu didn't deserve the title and blah, 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 blah. Yes, if it's taken you 13 years to win a championship, that's a dynasty, if you ask me. So Cat Zero kind of surprised me right there. I mean, some of the big names, Tutu, Quincy Einstein, June Einstein doesn't surprise me. Cat Zero definitely surprised me as far as that's concerned. So, as the big surprise, I think the big disappointment, and Cody will have to either agree or disagree with me. I think the big disappointment, as I'm looking through the points here, a couple of big names that really stand out to me. Timmy Turner, former Daytona 500 champion back in 2016, which will go down in PCSRA history as the wildest and wreckiest Daytona 500. Of course, only 4 cars out of 42 finished that race. And if Sean was with us back in the day when we did our 2016 Daytona 500, he would have wrecked all but 4 cars. Or no, all but 5 cars, which would have been nuts. And that's like a great way to say, ow, ow, ow. But Turner, I mean, only had no wins, 2 top 5s, 8 top 10s, and the year before that, he ended up making the playoffs. So I expected more out of Turner this year, and unfortunately, he really let me down. I can say both Nathan Orman Motorsports gals disappointed. Courtney Lynn, who almost won the championship in 2021, but lost it to Nathan Orman, which I don't want to get into this whole discussion about the whole someone using this team strategy, which I'm not going to do that on the stream. But in all seriousness, 4 top 5s, 9 top 10s, 21.3. Neither her, Brenda Eveling, and Marianne Jamestown, who I thought could have won more races this year, did not go to victory lane. I mean, that kind of really surprises a lot of people. And I talked about Rebecca Hawkins, her 2016, excuse me, her 2023 stats: no wins, 2 top 5, 4 top 10s, 22nd was her average finish, and finished 48th in the points. In fact, finished ahead of former champion Annie Thomas, who ended up 49th, despite Annie Thomas going to victory lane twice, whereas Rebecca Hawkins had a goose egg on the win. So, and also I'm going to say Betty Barrett kind of disappointed me in a big way. Brenda Eveling, I talked about, disappointed me in a big way. And, like I said, a lot of drivers who I thought could have won. Even Riley Anderson, who now is still on the longest losing drought since 2015. Of course, that was the year when Annie Thomas won the championship, and I did that by myself before I joined Travis for 2016. That was the big disappointment. And, Lisa Gonzalez, which I'm not going to say the dreadful number, because if I do, Sean will kill me so badly I can't even breathe the next morning. 2 top 5, 7 top 10s. I mean, yeah, and Matty Crenshaw. I'm going to say Indiana Motorsports kind of disappointed me in the Monster Energy Series. And, who knows in 2025 how they're going to be. I mean, if there's a lot of teams who definitely oh no, Mario's going to do something very illegal. Oh no. Oh, only Sean gets to say that on here. But, in my opinion, some of these big teams, like Riley Anderson, Sandy Stewart had a good year despite only winning once. Kevin Joseph, I could say he was the big disappointment so far down in points. And Holly Wilkins had a win this year. Darby King, well, she was a rookie to be fair with you as far as that's concerned. Let's see. I think the big disappointment was RPM Motorsports. Ish Taylor, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s. This is a driver who made the Final Four in the Oreo Cup Series back in season 1. That was kind of the big surprise there. Cunningham ran part-time, so I'm not going to count him. Chloe Erickson was out a couple of races due to recovering from her concussion in the Oreo Cup Series back in season 1. Schweetz was a disappointment, but I know Schweetz, going to bounce back. Sally Foster was actually very disappointing. I had a lot of expectations for Sally Foster. This is going to be the insult right here. Hattie Swore, who ran in all 3 series. What does Hattie Swore have in common? She won in all 3 series. Here's the big kicker, though. Hattie Swore finished ahead of Maddie Crenshaw in points, which who had that on their bingo card list before the year? Leela Bakai was kind of disappointment. Cody's favorite driver, Leela Bakai. Not trying to pick on Cody here, but definitely a disappointment for some of these. And, Subaru, who nearly got sent to the danger zone as far as losing their charter is concerned. So a lot of teams are really going to hope that next year they're going to have a little bit better of a year, if you know what I mean. So that's something we're definitely looking forward to for 2025 as far as that series is concerned. And then the rest of the field, and yeah. So that was it for the Monster Energy Series, Coca-Cola Trucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Amateur Series. I don't want to spend too much time on the Amateur Series points because we all know Ingrid Pollard was my big surprise. And like I said, it was the first year of doing the Amateur Series by myself. Now, to the big announcement you've all been waiting for. I talked about this on my last update video. Until we have some spots for the Napa Filter Pro Series, and I talked about that I would not be doing any PCSRA season-related series and all that. I know there was a lot of questions a lot of you had asked, and that is, what was the future for this channel going forward now that, PCSRA is going to be on a bit of a hiatus? And Cody Smart and everybody in the President's chat already knows this project. Same with Nathan Orman. Those of you who don't know, I'm bringing back a series that is dear to Cody and my heart. I call it the Diva Groups. Yes, we're bringing the Diva Groups to this channel, and it will start in February. We're going to have the Diva Truck Series, Diva Bush Series, and Diva Cup Series, and we're also going to have the TMSRA Diva Series, which I've already got the roster already made. I haven't sent it to Cody yet, as far as that's concerned. Now, I know what you all are thinking. You're thinking, wait a minute, Voiles, are you out of your mind? A Diva Series? What on bloody earth is that? Well, knowing me, because I was in the Dora chat before Power Quest got arrested last year, the Diva Group was something that was started by Power Quest, which would be an all-female series and would have female drivers battling for a championship, which is almost like the how this idea got created. So beginning next season, we're going to have the Diva Truck Series, Bush, and Cup Series. I've already made the rosters, so the only way you would sign up would be for season 2 of the NR Gen 3 Diva Trucks, Bush, and Cup. Now, in regards to that series, this is what's going to happen. For Diva Cup Series, the bottom 5 drivers will drop to Diva Bush. The top 5 in Diva Bush will go up to Diva Cup. The bottom 5 of Diva Bush will go down to Diva Trucks. And then the top 5 from Diva Trucks will go up to the Diva Bush series. Now, the PCSRA Diva series is not going to have that system. It's just going to be just a random normal NR series I'm going to do on the channel. So, any information as far as that's concerned will be in the Discord, also known as the Blue Hedgehog Discord. Because, like I said, I'm moving all of my PCSRA stuff / all the other stuff now that with the PSRLA. Still, we're about a month and 21 days away from being officially finished with the merge project. Because if you don't know, for those of you on that follow me on Discord, the PCSRA server that I have the link on for this channel is now the PSRLA. So it's kind of like me, quote unquote, contributing for the PSRLA, which, let's be honest, it's the truth. So, yeah. So I will change up the links for the new PCSRA server because, yes, I'm going to have the PCSRA server, but when that's going to get changed will have to come in 2025 because I'm going to keep the Blue Hedgehog server because because I joined Cody, Sean, and all those people that's in the YouTube chat occupied because we have to do our score checks and our U Bluids with Adam Sandler or all that, and I also have to move my Overwatch League stuff over into that server. So yeah. As I said, season 2, as far as the Diva stuff is concerned, will need to be done in my DM. Unless I've already talked to you in the president's chat and I've already told you about your plans and all that, yada, yada, yada. For anyone that wants to join the Diva groups / Diva series for season 2, will need to be done in my DM. It's not going to be done on YouTube. It's not going to be done on anywhere on Discord. It needs to be in my DM because, like I said, for Diva Cup, we're running the original Cup series, the 2003 to 2007 paint schemes and yada yada yada. Diva Bush will be the 2003 schemes from the NASCAR Bush series. Same for the Craftsman Trucks series schemes. As far as that's concerned, so. Unless you've already talked to me about your rides and all that, I've already, like I said, already got the roster, already am recording races, which, as a matter of fact, for anyone who is curious, as far as the Diva Trucks Bush and Cup, I am already at the Dover weekend. Which means I'm already up to race number 12 for the Diva Cup series. Race number 8 for the truck series, and I'm trying to count how many for Diva Bush. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 8, 9. I'm at race 10 for Diva Bush. So there you go. So, like I said, I'm already almost to All-Star Race Weekend for the Diva series as far as that's concerned. So, yeah. So other than that, that's kind of it as far as that is concerned. And like I said, if you want to join the Diva series, if you want to sign up and all that, it would be best off if you do it in my DM and wait until after season 1 is done for the Diva series. That way, I don't have to go through it on my laptop. Like I said, I'm on my laptop for right now. The reason I'm not on my phone right now, and I already talked about this in my last update, is that I'm about to get off of T-Mobile, who I've been with T-Mobile since high school, believe it or not. So after a long stint with T-Mobile, my contract with them will be coming to an end. And I'm probably going to be on Consumular, which means I won't have to pay my phone bill every damn month on the second of every month. So that's good. Then again, the only thing I would have to pay would be my storage unit. So I basically would already saved enough money as far as that's concerned. So yeah. With that being said, that is going to do it for the PCSRA end of the season for 2023. Of course, the award ceremony will be in a couple of weeks, which will not be on YouTube. So, yeah. So, want to wish everybody a happy Veterans Day tomorrow. I will try to be more active on NASCAR stuff and post race reviews and all that, yada, yada, yada. I'm probably going to start doing that for 2024. So, yeah, the next time I will be live, we'll be reacting to the Las Vegas Grand Prix for the F1 season, which is going to be a midnight Central Time start. So, those of you in Europe, I will have the stream, but I'm going to remind you, like I did for the 2 NASCAR reactions, I will not be showing the race because I do not want to, quote, get copyrighted. So I just want to let everybody know as far as that is concerned, as far as that deal is taken care of. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching the 2023 end of the season for PCSRA. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like, subscribe for more content, and the next time I will see you guys will be next weekend. We're going to react to the Las Vegas GP. But until then, I'm Adinaville signing off. Have a great rest of your night, and I will see you next time for another stream of PCSRA, the best in racing since 2017. So I'm Dean DeVos. Good night, everybody. I will see you guys next week.